When it comes to workspace booking, a common request we hear is to have some way to book parking spaces in the office car park. If you don't already use a booking system that offers this, and this includes Microsoft Places, you might be interested in how you can adapt a tool that you're probably already using, Microsoft Bookings. So, Microsoft Bookings was designed for booking people's time and services, but with some creative thinking, you can make it work for your car park. In this video, I'm going to talk you through the steps and some things to look out for when setting this up. But bear in mind, this is a workaround and it's not a perfect fit. We're going to start with the first big step, setting up the main bookings page. Just think of this as the digital home that's going to hold all of your parking options, and it's this page that you could add into your Microsoft Places Explore screen or on your company intranet. We're going to tackle this in 4 main steps. First, we create a shared page. Then we'll define our actual parking services. After that, we publish the page so everyone can use it. And finally, and you can't skip this, we'll run some tests to make sure it all works like it's supposed to. So when you're creating this main page, you'll do the usual stuff. Give it a name, pop your logo in, set the hours. An important setting here, especially if it's for staff, is to restrict access to only people inside your organization. Now that our main page is ready, we can start creating the specific things people can actually book. This might be services like full day parking, visitor parking, or maybe an EV charging bay. The next thing we'll do is to tell the system how many of each type of parking space we have, using the field called maximum number of attendees. You just type in the total number of parking spots you have right there. If you want to offer different time slots like morning, afternoon and full day, here's a heads up. You can't do that all in one service. You'll need to set up a totally separate service for each one of those options. So one for AM, one for PM and another one for the full day. For each service, you'll also need to turn off the online meeting option. You don't want to send out confusing Teams meeting invites for a parking spot. You can also add buffer times, assign an admin team like facilities as the people to manage the service, and even add a custom field to grab info, like someone's registration number. Okay, this next bit is the single most important setting that makes this entire workaround possible. By default, Bookings is going to check the admin's personal calendar. To stop that, you have to go into the staff settings and uncheck the box that says Events on Office Calendar affect availability. This is what stops an admin's personal dentist appointment from accidentally making all 20 parking spots look like they're unavailable. And just to say that this is all detailed in a how-to guide on our website. Alright, we've done all the hard work in the background. Now let's see what this actually looks like in action from 2 key perspectives. The end user, who's booking the parking spot, and the admin, who's keeping an eye on everything. For the end user, it's just a simple, clean web page where they pick a date and book their slot. Admin staff get notifications of all bookings and can see a calendar which gives an at-a-glance view of how full the car park is on each day. It'll say something like 3 out of 20 taken. Admins can also book a spot for someone else if they need to. Now, let's go back to some things to bear in mind for users of the system. First is that when they get a booking confirmation, it's probably going to block out their Outlook calendar for the entire day, marking their status as busy. So you have to tell them to go in and manually change their status to free. Otherwise, they'll look unavailable to all their colleagues. Next, you need to impress on them that they cannot cancel their parking spot just by deleting the event from their Outlook calendar. It won't work. They have to use the Manage Booking or Reschedule link that comes in their confirmation email. Another thing is that you'll just have to get used to the system's funny language. That is, returning to your parking spaces as seats. So we started out by saying this is a workaround, right? Which means it comes with some quirks and limitations. It's important to understand what these are before you commit, because at the end of the day, we're bending a tool to do something it wasn't really designed for. You're getting a free, integrated system, but it's not a dedicated parking tool. That means there's no way to track if someone actually showed up, no wait lists for when it's full, no way to enforce rules like only 3 bookings a month, and definitely no integration with physical stuff like gate barriers. But for a lot of organizations, a simple, free solution that's already part of their toolkit may be exactly what you need to finally solve that parking headache. For more tips, especially around getting the most out of Microsoft Places, follow my videos on YouTube or subscribe to our Places updates.